Welcome back. I'm Richard Hasnot, and I'm your host of the Wisdom Inspired Life podcast and this YouTube channel. Great to be back with you. Well, today I'm beginning a new series in the WOW series, our Words of Wisdom series, with a very special book to me, and that's a book, Living with Joy. This is a book that early in my spiritual journey I discovered in a bookstore in Cincinnati, and it had I wasn't on a conscious spiritual journey at that time, but it made such an impact on me that I not only have read it many, many times, but early on, when there were not audiobooks, I actually created my own audiobook of it. I created a cassette for each chapter, and I would listen to each cassette going to and from work at Procter & Gamble at the time. And it really, really opened my eyes up. And the title, Living with Joy, was very aspirational, for sure. And this is a book by Sanaya Roman, but it's a channeled book. And by a channeled book, it is channeled through an entity on the astral plane, which might be called the heaven plane, where we go after we pass, from an entity called Orin, O-R-I-N. And this is a rather remarkable book in a number of other ways, in the fact that it's a book that is still in print after more than 25 years since its original publication. Being an author of books myself, I can tell you that does not happen often unless a book really has some fundamental appeal. So what I'm going to be sharing with you during this series are really brief excerpts from a very few chapters. Consider this a sampler size to see if it's something that might appeal to you. And only you can determine that. So hopefully by giving you little bits and pieces and some of my own personal perspective on this, you may determine that this is something that you're interested in. You can get it on Amazon, of course. What can't you get on Amazon? Okay, so that's what this is all about. So there'll be 6 of these episodes in this series. And this will be the longest introduction I give for that. So we're going to start with the subject of joy. Now there's a surprise on a book called Living with Joy. And these are quotes. What is the path of joy? Well, there are many paths you can choose, just as there are many ways you can serve on a planetary level. There is the path of will, a path of struggle, and a path of joy and compassion. And there really are many paths, and those are just a few of them. It's kind of important to develop some level of personal awareness about what is your path all about? And you can only really do that by, in part, being an observer of yourself. What's my life all about? Struggle, anger, or joy of helping people? What is it? How would you describe it? Next, joy is an inner note. It's an inner energy that you sound as you move through the day. When you're coming from a place of joy, people will know it. Living with joy is an integral part of living a wisdom-inspired life. A wisdom-inspired life includes many things, but living that life with joy is a very important part of it. Hence, why this book is a part of this series on this channel about a wisdom-inspired life. Okay? Next. Your great challenge is not to be distracted by that which happens in front of you, or is pulling you, on you, or calling you, but instead to find your center and magnetize to yourself all those things that are in alignment with your inner being. You may, from previous episodes on different topics, inner being is really the essence of who we are, which is that our soul, that spark of divinity that's within all of us, that goes with us from lifetime to lifetime. But the challenge in living a life of joy is not to be distracted by all the noise and chaos and anger and everything, negative energy that can be in front of you, and not be distracted by other sorts of things that are pulling you or calling you in a different direction. Find your center. Find your center. Now, a lot of that comes through meditation, through practice, through study, really knowing the center is an energy about you. For me, it's a calm, quiet energy, peaceful energy, joyful energy that I can experience when I'm quiet and at peace. That's when you're in and about the world and the world is going crazy, is a place that you can come back to and center yourself, regardless of where you are. You can do it often through some deep breathing, for example. Okay? Compassion, a topic we've talked about a lot. The path of compassion does not obligate you to love people regardless of how they act or who they are. Very important point, not often made about compassion. Compassion can be for a stranger. Compassion can be for somebody who's acting in anger and hurting. May not be very likable, but compassion is relieving the suffering of others actions we can take. It's a path of seeing the truth of who people are and acknowledging all their parts, their humanness, as well as their divinity. It is the path of looking at people and asking, is there anything you can do to heal, assist, or bring them in touch with their higher vision? Is there anything you can do to help them? Okay? If there's not, then you are pulling down your own energy by spending time with them. If you're around someone that's negative and lashing out or deeply, deeply troubled, not wanting your help, one of the best things that you can do is to attempt to be compassionate. But if compassion is not something they're ready and willing to receive, fighting with it and forcing it is not the path to helping them or you. And being around people who are in deep pain and negative energy can be very infectious to you. By that I mean you can start feeling pain and anger and frustration. Okay? We are beings of magnetic energy. I'll deal with this a little bit more in some future episodes, but we are beings of energy, and we are influenced by the energy of those around us. I know in my time that I've spent studying with Sogyal Rinpoche, when I would be in a room with him and his wisdom, joy, compassion, love, wow, what an experience of positive energy that was for me multiple times, okay? Be ready to receive joy. One of the ways to receive more joy is to spend time appreciating what you have, okay? Appreciating what you have, not feeling bad about what you don't have, okay? Acknowledge even in the simplest things, the flowers you see or smell, the heartwarming smile of a child, the food you eat, and soon you will find that the universe, capital U, sending you even more good things for gratitude is magnetic. Again, we are beings of energy. If we are joyful, our energy attracts more joy. If our energy is hateful, we will attract more hate and more chaos into our lives, okay? Be grateful for what you have, small or large, okay? Moments of time. Having a gratitude journal, for example, is something that can be very, very helpful. And not only appreciating and gratitude are very important. In my book, Ultimate Happiness, I talk about the importance of gratitude and appreciation in creating personal happiness from a Western perspective, which is also echoed by the Eastern perspective. So lots of good things here about joy. What would joy be without a smile? Well, here's some advice from Sanaya Roman and Oren. When you wake up, ask yourself, what you could do today that would bring you joy and delight. What could you do today? Don't let that thought go. Embrace it. What really could you do? Put a smile on your face rather than focusing on how you're going to get through another day. That's called survival mode. Do not focus on the problems you have to handle. You will have joy only when you focus on having it and settling for nothing less. Joy is acquired through intention. Joy is acquired through commitment. Joy is acquired through action. Okay? Your actions. So, smile. Stay positive. Now that's, given everything I've said so far, not a surprise. To live a joyful life, you will want to learn how to not let other people who may be in a negative place pull you into their negative energy through their third chakra, which is the solar plexus center. Much of the energy that people experience from others comes from through the solar plexus, the power and emotional center. Again, we are beings of energy, and if we're around someone that is in a very emotional, especially a negative emotional state, that energy can leak and flow over to us, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in emotionally negative places. Understand that when you're in an environment of negativity, that negativity can infect you. Okay? Be aware of that and take proactive action to stay positive. Take care of yourself. Take care of your energy. Okay? Okay. A few snippets from the first chapter of this particular book, Living with Joy. Should you be more interested, of course, you can go get the book on Amazon. And if you want to know more about what's going on in Wisdom Inspired Life, you can go to the website, mywisdominspiredlife.com. We have a great player there for the podcast, for the Wisdom Inspired Life podcast, with new episodes released every Saturday and Sunday. It's also available every place you can listen to them: Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, on and on, wherever. I think wherever. I've tried. Okay? Well, as you know, if you've been listening to any of these episodes so far, you know I'm on a journey to inspire people to be more caring and compassionate, to deal with the challenges and needs that we have in this world, and in the course of that, start living a wisdom-inspired life. So that's the journey I'm on, and I look forward to continuing that journey with you.